Hey, what's up, guys? DFS 5-pack, ready to go through some quick NBA DFS information for the night. Two things. One, click the thumbs up button if you don't mind. Subscribe to the station if you're new to it. And anybody who purchases a monthly package today, that will include the rest of the regular season, the start of the NBA playoffs, and baseball. Since you get both sports, you get a $25 rebate today, making your first month damn near free.
Well, let's get it, man. We got a little bit of a smaller NBA slate, which is nice.
Yes, I like those more than ever with just the preponderance of information that we got stuck. I know I talked about this yesterday. Like at one point, I think Fantasy Labs even tweeted out there was 27 guys that were questionable.
That's crazy.
It's absolute insanity. So let's get into it, guys. Like we said, deal on monthly memberships today. Access is available to the website. You get Discord, everything like that. Subscribe to the station. Let's talk about Cash Game Lock. The Boston Celtics are getting a ton of love today. If you are playing cash games in the NBA right now, take a look at the Boston Celtics. No Jason Tatum, no Kemba Walker, no Bob Williams, and Fournier hasn't made a shot in weeks. So I think you guys know who the obvious plays are, and we'll start with Marcus Smart. He seems like a smart play today. Oklahoma City sucks. He should meander into decent points at the minimum. And if OKC plays at least decently, and this game is competitive for 4 quarters, like legit GPP upside.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're both Smart fans. With those guys out in a crush spot against OKC, I mean, listen, this game could get out of hand, but if it gets out of hand, that means the Boston guys are playing well. Ton to like about Smart here. I mean, this is a spot I could see him getting like 6 steals easily. So tons of upside at this price tag. Like him a lot.
Yeah, against a tanking bad team like OKC, I was actually going to put a bullet point down here about how many steals I think he can get tonight. He is a fantastic defender, sporadic offensive player, but he does enough of everything that it's really difficult to picture him dropping below like 28 DK points tonight, with the exception of like, injury, foul trouble, or the game's just freakishly one-sided.
I'm 100% with you.
All right, next up, Malcolm Brogdon. So with the Celtics getting all sorts of attention today, there's plenty of good plays on the Pacers that are just not as going to get as much love as they should.
Yeah, and Indiana's been kind of chalky the last couple slates. You just mentioned it because of Boston and some other spots. They're not getting as much love here. Priced up a little bit, but that's okay. Finally got a day off in a really good spot against Portland. Brogdon's playing really good ball. I put up close to 50 in 30 minutes last time out. I like him a ton here. I think there's going to be a little bit of sticker shock. People aren't going to want to spend 8,800 on him. I'm fine with it. He's playing well right now. Something that Indiana announcers mentioned a few times. I was watching their last game with Brogdon and LeVert. Like they're being given a ton of leeway right now on like what they're able and allowed to do offensively because they're so needed. They're their best players by far. Brogdon's their number one. So I like him quite a bit here and don't think he gets as much love as he deserves.
Needs wins too. Indy needs to keep winning. Portland needs to keep winning. Expect a good game. In the modern NBA, blowouts happen in all sorts of weird ways, but the best you can do is make good decisions, and I think we both fully expect this to be a quality basketball game.
Amen.
All right, next up, let's talk about your boy D'Lo, who I actually like a lot tonight, especially in the cash game format, but I think he has legit GPP upside again here. You pointed out in the members-only video, he's been out a lot this year, so the back-to-back is a little scary, but he was really good in the back-to-back against Sacramento last week. And Sacramento's a crush spot. You know who else is a crush spot? The Houston Rockets, who are all types of terrible. Just look at his last 4 games. He has like real upside. D'Lo's a guy who's been 8K, a lot of slates. Not as much this year because he's barely played, but he's starting to play like the 8K guy again.
Yeah, he looks good. Game-winning layup last night against the Jazz. A couple back-to-back good wins for Minnesota. They're not playing for anything, but they're also a more veteran team than some of the other teams that, we talk about tanking. So I'm sure they want to finish out the season on a good note, get some confidence going. D'Lo's playing really well. He's probably at least 1,000 too cheap in this matchup, assuming his minutes stay, around 30, which I don't see any reason they wouldn't. Like him a lot here in all formats.
Yeah, at this time of the year when you're eliminated from the playoffs already, if he were to pick up an ankle injury, like who cares? Right?
Yep.
Like you've already tanked this season. Not tanked. You've already blown this season. Another one for the Timberwolves. Like, let this guy run. And for him, like, he's probably just excited to be playing basketball. Again, like maybe you may not love D'Lo for the way he plays and certain other things, but he's a professional basketball player who's had a lot of injuries lately. He's just got to be happy to be out there having fun.
I'm so with you.
And this is the kind of matchup that could be fun. Rockets versus Timberwolves, 2 terrible teams. Not a lot of games have upside. Doesn't mean it works out because they are terrible teams. but there aren't a lot of games that have upside like this.
Truth.
All right, next up. So we're going to move over to long shots. And let's take a look at Jusuf Nurkic at 6,800. So it's another guy from this game that we expect to be competitive. And Brogdon and LeVert in the backcourt. I'm not saying they can shut down CJ or Lillard, but their backcourt defense is better than their frontcourt defense with Goga. And we've been talking a lot of O'Shea Brissett lately, but he's an undersized center who might be forced into playing against a guy like Nurkic, who's legit, inches taller and many double-digit pounds bigger?
For sure. Bad spot for those Indiana guys. I mean, Nurkic is going to eat them alive. Have liked centers against them all year. It's only getting better as the year goes on. I like this game. Nurkic is the top piece of Portland in my eyes at his price.
Yeah, especially if you want upside. So we've seen this from him before. He's he goes through his runs where he plays like a 6 to 7K guy when he's getting his minutes, which is about where he's priced right now, obviously. And then he gets hot for days, games, weeks, whatever you want to call it. Right now, he's playing his best game. He's probably got more tread on his legs right now because he missed that time with injury, whereas CJ, he missed some time too, but Dame had to do a lot for this team this year. Nurkic is playing well right now, but because he's more expensive, he's not getting a lot of ownership attention today, kind of putting him into that long shot category. Now, I don't expect him to be a 50-plus point game per guy like he has been the last two for the rest of the season, but I'd take 40 right here and be pretty happy with it. So even if he takes a big step back today, he can still provide GPP value.
So with you.
All right. Last up, Kelly Olynyk, another center, similar price point. Play them both, play them together, play your favorite.
Yeah, I didn't even realize. I mean, both these guys have monster upside. I don't know if a lot of people are going to play them together just because they take up both your center spot and your utility. Both of them, coming off of really, really good games. Nurkic a little bit better. Olynyk you feel a little bit safer with because he's playing more minutes. I like both of them a lot, man. I mean, talked about that Minnesota's in a good spot against Houston. Houston's in a good spot against Minnesota. Both these teams look at this game as a winnable game. Olynyk is balling right now. I don't see any reason why we can't look at him. And I think he's only a long shot in terms of how much love he's going to get. That said, not going to be surprised if he ends up a little more popular than I think.
So what I hate is a lot of the plays that we like are mid-tier builds today. And then stupid NBA, what's going to happen is a bunch of guys are going to be out. And you're going to be forced into playing these value plays at 3 and 4K that you don't really want to play, but they just walk into 30 all of a sudden. That just seems to be every single day because I like these mid-tier plays a lot. I really hope that, I would love to find out Luka and Porzingis are playing tonight so I can cross that game off and not worry about trying to, play value guys from Dallas.
Yeah, I'm so with you there.
That would be awesome. Or we're going to find out KD's out again tonight because it's a night. And you're going to be more intrigued by some of the value pieces over there. Just give me the mid-tier. I like the mid-tier. Let me play these guys. Come on.
Or Towns is out, or Giannis is out, or all of them are out.
That is the NBA for all of them to be out, right?
Seriously. That's not even – I wish I was kidding.
Yeah, unfortunately, no, guys. But the playoffs will be here before you know it. So let's get after it, guys. Best of luck today. Click that thumbs up button, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.